Faith, Erin Hicks.
Yes.
Thank you so much for agreeing to answer my 5 fabulous questions.
No problem.
And you have written 2 of my favorite books, both of which are right over here.
Yay.
Friends with Boys, which is the newest one, and War at Ellesmere, which has this fabulous, like, it's great. What the heck? Oh, it's great. Moment in it.
Sorry.
No, I loved it. And I have to tell you, with Friends with Boys, I have a middle schooler, a niece, who also coincidentally is homeschooled.
Okay.
And she begged, Evie, please let me stay up and finish. I'm like, it's 10:30. Please let me stay up and finish. I'm like, don't tell your mom. So yeah, she adored it. Thank you so much for that.
I'm so excited. Thank you
So, my first question for you is, how did you get started working in comics?
I actually started doing comics online back in 1999 when I was much younger, and I was really terrible at art, but it was just something that I was interested in doing, and the internet really allowed me to just go and make comics. That's the really nice thing about the internet. You know, it's not someone who's going to tell you no, or it's going to prevent you from putting your work online. It's just there. It's really easy to access, and readers will find you and encourage you to keep going with your work. So that's how I started.
Very good. Did you read comics when you were a kid? And if so, who influenced you?
I didn't read a lot of comics. I had access to Tintin and Asterix, mostly through the libraries. I'm Canadian, and Tintin and Asterix is a lot bigger over there. I think now maybe that's changed.
Yeah.
American kids are a lot more knowledgeable about it. So those were really big influences, and I would trace the Tintin comics and trace the Asterix comics, and draw my own Tintin and Asterix. I also had this Bible comic that was like the story of Jesus and that sort of thing. So that was my main comics. I didn't really start. I mean, I drew comics before I really read them. And then the first comic that I found that I really felt was made for me as a reader was Jeff Smith's Bone, which I found back in the early 2000s, I think, and it just had a huge impact on my work. And then a few years ago, I found Naoki Urasawa, who's a Japanese manga artist, and I love his work. And he's now the main influence on my work.
Fantastic. My next question is, what are you currently working on?
Oh, I'm working on, did you want to show maybe
Sure.
some additional pages? I'm working on this book here. This is Nothing Can Possibly Go Wrong, and it is my next book for First Second, and it should be out in spring of next year. And it's another high school book, and except it's about guys this time. It's girls. It's about these 2 guys, and one's a jock and one's a nerd, and they're friends, and they've lived right next to each other for years and years and years. But they kind of hate each other, so it's this combative, frustrated relationship, and drama happens, and there's cheerleaders and robots, and it's a lot of fun. It's an over-the-top, really, really funny book.
Fabulous. And you also have a book is it just coming out, or it's just recently about to come out? With Jay Torres?
Yes, I have.
See, I pay attention.
I'm sorry?
I pay attention.
Oh, yeah. It's called Bigfoot Boy, and it will be out in September from Kids Can Press, and it's a young reader's graphic novel. So, aimed at kids. I mean, I don't know exact ages, but I'm assuming 10 and under. It's really cute. It's really funny. Jay and I had a lot of fun working on it. It's also in color, which is great. It's my first time coloring my own comics for publication. So, yeah, I think kids will really enjoy it. Out in September.
Did you have fun coloring your own pages, or was it?
Yeah, it's not. I mean, I like it because it's a new skill and it's something that I want to learn. Most of the time, color's not really my main interest. I'd rather just make awesome pages and then hand them off to someone who's awesome at coloring.
Right.
So yeah.
Well, and Bone was black and white originally.
Exactly.
Monster is black and white. Yeah.
I tend to prefer books that are color, or sorry, not books that are color. I prefer books that are black and white. But then some books are enhanced so much by their color. I'm thinking of like BPRD that Dark Horse puts out, and they have a really amazing colorist, Dave Stewart, who works on that. He really adds so much to the work. I mean, if it's good work, then of course I appreciate it. But yeah, I tend to gravitate towards black and white more.
Interesting. Sorry, that was a side question.
Oh, no,
that doesn't
no
count. That doesn't count as my 5.
Okay, all right.
Okay. The next one is what graphic novels or comics titles that you've read in the past year would you recommend for teens or for kids? And I know immediately what you're going to say.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
What?
Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh. Well, that's the thing. though. I finished reading it in 2011, so I didn't read them this year.
Oh, I guess that's true.
Yes, I do, but I will recommend Full Metal Alchemist because I absolutely love it. I'm a huge fan of that series, and I love that it's written and drawn by a woman. You know, someone that I can look up to as a personal hero. Gosh, I hate being put on the spot like this.
Sorry.
Oh, I'm really excited for Year of the Beast by Cecil Castellucci and Dave Howell. That's a hybrid graphic novel prose book. I haven't read it yet, but I'm excited for Rainer Telgemeier's new book, which is out in the fall, Smile. No, not Smile. That was her last book. Her new book was Drama. Shoot, what else? I should have made a list before.
I'm sorry.
We started this interview.
That's all right. Those are two really good ones.
All right.
All right.
That'll be enough.
So my last question for you is, and this is the librarian one, if you were stranded on a desert island and could only bring one book with you, and it doesn't have to be a comic,
okay,
what would that book be?
You know what? I've thought about this a lot, and I just can't decide. Like, my three main authors are Jeff Smith, Naoki Urasawa, and Harumu Arakawa, who did Full Metal Alchemist. And, you know, if it came down to picking between, say, Bone, Pluto, or Full Metal Alchemist, I don't think I could. You know, I love those three. Those are my top three. Those are, and I feel like my love for them is equal. So
fair enough.
I don't know. It would have to be one of the three.
And
but I could not choose.
all three of them are like quest stories. So
that's true.
So like a classic hero's journey story.
Yeah, that's true. And I mean, that's something I'm really drawn to. I enjoy books that are based in realism, like say Raina's work. But yeah, there's something about a really cool adventure story.
Yeah.
With, lots of great characters in it. I really
very
enjoy
good.
that.
And all three of those are worthy of reading more than once.
Yes.
So very good. Thank you, Faith, very much. I'm glad we finally got to do this.
Yes, no problem.
Yay.